Nani? Good morning and welcome to Whenever You Are. I am Bandit Haze, and today I'm going to be talking about the 1995 anime Ghost in the Shell, specifically about Major Motoko Kusanagi. So this is a film set in the future of 2029 where it's commonplace for humans to have cybernetic enhancements, where some have a little and some have a lot. And then there's Major Motoko Kusanagi, who is pretty much the female version of RoboCop. Her body is manufactured but her brain is human, which is where the name Ghost in the Shell comes from, because she maintains her memories and sense of self. It is as if putting someone's soul inside a robotic shell that's designed to look like a human woman. But here comes a problem. Her whole body is fake. Fake legs, fake butt, fake boobs, fake hair, fake everything. She is effectively the future of cosmetic surgery. I mean, we're talking next level female insecurities here. And you know she's high maintenance too. Now, I ain't saying she's a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke N-words. That's the politically correct version, but if you got that reference, put it in the comments. But I think that one might be a bit too easy though. But because so much of her is manufactured, she also wonders if her memories are even real as well, or if indeed her soul or sense of self has also been lost. So it's asking a question that many science fictions have asked: what does it mean to be human? You know, at what point has so much of you been changed that you are no longer you? And most importantly, do androids dream of electric sheep? And if you got that reference, put it in the comments. That one might be a little bit trickier. For example, this is kind of related, kind of unrelated, but I want to mention it anyway because it's funny. But we used to have a show called Only Fools and Horses. Now, I don't know how popular the show was outside of Britain, but if you know the show, you probably know the connection. One of the characters, called Trigger, was a road sweeper, and he was a road sweeper for many, many years, and he had the same broom for many, many years. And over the years, the broom has only had 17 new heads and 14 new handles. And if you're wondering, then how the bloody hell can it be the same broom? Well, here's a picture of it. What more proofs do you want? Classic British comedy. Anyway, so who is Major Motoko Kusanagi, and is she human or nah? Well, Kusanagi is a member of Section 9, which is an organization that deals with cyber warfare, and she also runs around town killing people with diplomatic immunity whilst naked. Or, since we're talking about what makes the self, is it still naked if the body isn't real? I mean, if there's a robot woman that looks like a real woman and she's walking around town, is it okay to stare at her boobs because her boobs aren't real? They're fake. They just look real. Hey, this movie is set in 2029. That's not really that far away. So I feel like perhaps we should establish some ground rules so that we're better prepared for that eventuality. And for what it's worth, I'm gonna say it's okay to stare, because if it's not a real woman, then she ain't Japanese. She's Fapanese, am I right? Am I right? Right? Okay. Anyway, after the opening shenanigans, it turns out there's this dude known as the Puppet Master who's been hacking people's ghosts, or the enhancements that they have in their brains, and making them do things that they wouldn't normally do. Which kind of makes it sound like futuristic hypnosis, except a hypnotist would always say that they can never make anybody do anything that deep down they don't really want to do. Which, on one hand, I guess that's true. I mean, it sounds true, right? But on the other hand, that could be used as an excuse for grabbing girls' asses in public, and I don't know, it's probably easier to make a prank video. Anyway, Kusanagi is part of the team that has to track down the Master of Puppets, and while they're doing so, there's two characters to take note of. One of them is the man they thought was the Puppet Master, but turned out to be ghost hacked himself and didn't even know his own name. The other is the garbage collector who was trying to ghost hack his wife to find out if she was cheating on him or not, but turned out that he was ghost hacked himself and was given false memories by the Puppet Master. Now, the reason those two are significant is because one of the points that the Puppet Master makes later on is that DNA is essentially a set of programs that preserves memory, and that it is memory that defines mankind. Now, if that's true, then what about fake memories? Would that mean that if your memories are fake, then your humanity is also fake? And if so, then the two ghost hacked humans would have ceased being human the moment their memory was replaced or deleted. But I'm thinking, and you might be thinking, that surely if you are born human, then at least until you die, you stay human. So going back to Kusanagi, was she born human? As in, is Kusanagi a human brain inside a robot as the title suggests? Or is she a robot with a human brain? The difference being, which one takes precedent and how do we categorize her? And that is perhaps the sticking point. We are trying to categorize her. Now, Kusanagi says that it doesn't matter that she is treated like a human because that doesn't mean that she is. Which makes sense because there are people out there who would treat their dogs like another member of the family, but then wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire. Which, by the way, I never really understood that saying. I mean, I do, but I don't. I mean, look, if I'm ever on fire, don't piss on me. Throw water, please. I wouldn't want to be on fire and then stink or piss afterwards, you know what I mean? Anyway, the point is self-identification. It doesn't matter what other people think she is, it only matters what Kusanagi thinks she is. But since Kusanagi is unsure of herself, then she is neither human nor robot. But there's another problem. Objects cannot self-identify. Now, the puppet master claims to have become self-aware and sentient, and as such, should be afforded the same rights as a person. Kusanagi is also self-aware and sentient, which would mean that she is human, or at least more human than robot, even if she herself doesn't realize it. But her self-awareness and sentience could be down to clever programming, or as in the case with the puppet master, a glitch. So we're back to square one. Or perhaps square two. Even if her sentience is created or a mistake, it is still sentience. But then it's fake sentience, so yeah. In the end, the film offers a whole lot of questions and a whole lot of food for thought, which, by the way, is another stupid saying, but whatever. But it doesn't really offer any answers as to what or who Kusanagi is. Which segue into the next thing I want to talk about. Now, since the live action movie, there has been a lot of talk as to whether or not Kusanagi is supposed to be a white woman or a Japanese woman in the anime movie. And the reason for that is because some people look at her and say that she doesn't have oriental features, which is the politically correct way of saying she doesn't have slanted eyes, even though not all oriental people have slanted eyes. By the way, apparently you're not supposed to say oriental people, which doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, oriental means from Asia, and people can be from Asia, so I don't see what the problem is. I mean, it's not like I'm calling them but whatever. Here's the thing. Anime has a long history of drawing characters in a racially ambiguous way, so you can't really just look at a character and say they're supposed to be whatever ethnicity based on looks alone in most cases. It's kind of like looking at a magic eye puzzle, and if you remember magic eye puzzles, you're old. I remember magic eye puzzles. They were pretty popular back in the day. The point is, what you see on the surface isn't the whole picture. Now, there's a million different theories as to why a lot of anime characters are drawn that way, and I don't want to get too much into that because they are just theories. I will say this though, that my own personal theory is that it somehow links to the geisha tradition. Now, I don't know that for a fact. It's not something I can prove. I may be completely wrong, so we'll just leave that there. Anyway, unless the ethnicity is explicitly stated in a lot of animes, you really don't have much to go on. Kusanagi's ethnicity is never stated, probably because she's a robot and robots don't have ethnicities, which is pretty much the answer. She's not a white person or a Japanese person because she's not a person, or at least her body isn't a person. If anything, she's just a brain, and brains don't have ethnicities either. They just have memories, and her memories may not even be real. But for those who are obsessed with categorizing and pigeonholing and putting everything in neat little boxes, Kusanagi probably wasn't intended to be modeled on a white person. Now, the reason I say that is because one of the characters, Dr. Willis, is referred to as the white guy, and since he and Kusanagi are not the same shade, she probably wasn't supposed to be white. Or maybe she's got a tan. The bottom line is that it really doesn't matter, because as far as the film goes, her identity is a mystery even to herself. So the moral of the story is, stop being racist. And that is what I think of Ghost in the Shell Villagers. What do you think? Major Motoko or Major. Oh no. Let me know down below, and if you liked this video, give it a like and share it amongst your friends. If you did not like it, then give it a dislike and share it amongst your enemies. Either way, let me know your reasons in the comments. Subscribe if you have not already. Thank you for watching, and until whenever, if ever, how can mirrors be real if our eyes